Welcome back to USA Legends Who Died. In today's video, we are paying tribute to legendary actors like Chuck Norris and Eric Dane, who have recently passed away. We will recap their iconic roles and the impact they left on Hollywood. Before we get into the details, please give this video a like as a sign of respect for these screen legends. Your support is very important to us. Let's begin the tribute to these remarkable stars. Chuck Norris, the legendary martial arts champion and action icon who defined an era of American toughness, has passed away at the age of 86 on March 19, 2026. His family confirmed that he died peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, following a sudden medical emergency in Hawaii. It is with heavy hearts that our family shares the sudden passing of our beloved Chuck Norris. He was surrounded by his family and was at peace, they wrote, remembering a man who lived with faith, purpose, and an unwavering commitment to the people he loved. Across more than 4 decades, Norris built a career that few could rival. A true martial arts world champion, he held multiple black belts across disciplines and even created his own system, Chun Kook Do. His on-screen legacy exploded in the 1970s and 1980s with films like Missing in Action, Delta Force, and Lone Wolf McQuade, before reaching millions more through the long-running television hit Walker, Texas Ranger, which ran for 8 seasons and earned him award recognition. Yet his journey was never simple. From a modest upbringing to years of discipline in the Air Force and martial arts training in Korea, Norris forged himself through persistence. Even as his film career slowed in the 1990s, he reinvented himself on television, proving that resilience could outlast any setback. In later years, he became something even rarer, a cultural legend. The Chuck Norris facts phenomenon turned him into a global symbol of strength and humor, bridging generations in a way few stars ever achieve, forever marking his place in the USA Legend Archive. Chuck Norris was more than an action hero. He was a symbol of discipline, faith, and quiet strength, a man whose legacy will endure far beyond the screen. Subscribe to honor the legends who shaped our world and never miss a story that matters.
All you have to do is admit it. Then you can come back home with me.
Eric Dane, the charismatic star whose presence defined a generation of television drama, has passed away at the age of 53 on February 19, 2026. According to official records, he died from respiratory failure, with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis as the underlying cause, nearly 1 year after publicly revealing his diagnosis. Dane rose to global recognition as Dr. Mark Sloan, forever known as McSteamy, on Grey's Anatomy, where he appeared in more than 130 episodes and became one of the show's most iconic characters. That single moment, stepping out of a shower with effortless confidence, turned him into a cultural phenomenon almost overnight. He later expanded his range with leading roles in The Last Ship and HBO's Euphoria, proving his ability to evolve with each chapter of his career. Yet behind the fame was a life shaped by profound challenges. From the early loss of his father to struggles with addiction and periods of depression, Dane faced battles that were deeply personal and often unseen. In his final year, his diagnosis brought a new and difficult reality. Yet he continued to work, advocate, and share his journey with honesty and strength, becoming one of the most talked about recent celebrity deaths in the industry. Eric Dane leaves behind more than memorable performances. He leaves a legacy of resilience, vulnerability, and quiet courage. A reminder that even those who appear strongest are often carrying unseen battles and still choose to move forward.
You just want to go ahead and ask me, because I'll give you the fucking answer, all right? Frank, look at me. Look at me.
Breaking news. At 50, Leonardo DiCaprio stands as both a symbol of cinematic brilliance and a man quietly shaped by the spaces where applause no longer reaches. Behind the unforgettable roles and global admiration lies a more fragile narrative, one woven from distance, restraint, and a longing that success has never fully quieted. What does it mean to be seen by millions, yet remain unknown in the places that matter most, where even silence begins to feel like a companion rather than an absence? Leonardo DiCaprio was born into a life that never settled into a single, unbroken path. Growing up in Los Angeles between two homes after his parents' early separation, a child learning to exist in between rather than within. His father's artistic world and his mother's steady devotion gave him both imagination and grounding. Yet neither could fully shield him from the quiet fracture of a divided childhood. In those early years, he developed not just talent, but a heightened awareness, a way of observing life from a distance that would later define both his craft and his solitude. His career rose with extraordinary force, but never without resistance, as each role became a test of depth, rather than a celebration of fame. From the emotional fragility of his early performances to the commanding intensity of later roles, he refused to remain confined by expectation. Titanic made him a global icon, yet also placed him within a frame he spent years trying to break. The path to recognition was long, marked by repeated near misses at the Academy Awards, before finally winning Best Actor for The Revenant. A victory that felt less like a rival and more like endurance acknowledged. Alongside this, he earned Golden Globe Awards, BAFTA recognition, and the lasting respect of an industry that came to see him not simply as a star, but as a craftsman devoted to transformation, solidifying his status among the true Hollywood legends of our time. And yet, beyond the achievements, there exists a quieter narrative shaped by absence rather than presence. His personal life has unfolded under careful control, relationships forming under the weight of public attention only to fade without noise, leaving behind a pattern of beginnings without permanence. At 50, he remains unmarried, not from lack of connection, but perhaps from an understanding that a life so visible leaves little space for something truly untouched. His quiet desire for fatherhood reflects a deeper longing, not for structure, but for something real and enduring. Though no physical illness defines his journey, there is an undeniable emotional wear that comes from years of guarding one's inner world against constant exposure. Privacy becomes both refuge and barrier, protecting him while slowly isolating him. In homes filled with light and success, there are moments where silence lingers longer than comfort allows, where even greatness cannot answer the need for something simpler. Yet within that solitude, he has chosen purpose over retreat. Through environmental advocacy, humanitarian work, and a body of films that continue to challenge audiences, he has redirected the attention placed upon him towards something greater than himself. His legacy is not only built on performances, but on intention, a life lived with awareness of both its influence and its cost. And so, Leonardo DiCaprio remains a man between worlds, stepping into the light when the story demands it, and returning to the quiet when it fades. His journey is not defined by perfection, but by persistence, by the balance between what he has gained and what still remains just beyond reach. If his work has ever stayed with you, if a single moment has lingered beyond the screen, then perhaps that connection is where his truest legacy lives, somewhere between silence and recognition.
It's, I I go there every day.
Nicholas Brendon, best known for his deeply human portrayal of Xander Harris on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, passed away at the age of 54 on March 20th, 2026. He was found in his sleep at his home in Indiana with no signs of foul play, as investigations into the exact cause continue. Across 7 seasons and nearly all 144 episodes of Buffy, Brendon helped redefine what it meant to be the ordinary character in a world of heroes. Xander was not the strongest or the most powerful, yet his humor, loyalty, and quiet bravery made him one of the most beloved figures of the series, earning Brendon multiple Saturn Award nominations and a lasting cultural impact. Behind that success, however, was a life marked by struggle. In the years after Buffy, his career was shaped by ongoing battles with addiction, legal troubles, and serious health challenges, including spinal and cardiac conditions that affected his daily life, leading him to be remembered in the Celebrity Tributes 2026. Yet even through those difficulties, he continued to show up. For his work, for his fans, and for the life he was still trying to build. Subscribe to keep the memories of our favorite stars alive, and never miss a tribute to the icons who shaped our lives.
Well, I watched everybody else having a lot of trouble and just tried to avoid it.
Robert Carradine, the beloved actor known for his warmth on screen and quiet depth off it, passed away at the age of 71 on February 23, 2026. His death was ruled a suicide, following a long and deeply personal battle with bipolar disorder that spanned nearly 2 decades. Carradine built a career that stretched across generations. He first rose to prominence with his role as Louis Skolnick in Revenge of the Nerds, 1984, turning an unlikely underdog into a cultural symbol of intelligence and individuality. Years later, he found a new audience as Sam McGuire in Lizzie McGuire, becoming a familiar and comforting presence in homes around the world. Behind that enduring career, however, was a man navigating profound inner struggles. For years, he faced the weight of mental illness, carrying it quietly while continuing to work, create, and remain present for those around him. His journey reflected both resilience and vulnerability, a balance not often seen so openly. Robert Carradine leaves behind more than memorable roles. He leaves a story that invites understanding, compassion, and reflection. A reminder that even those who bring light to others may be fighting battles unseen.